So let me get this straight. You're telling me that in the future, there's going to be ships on the river that I can get on?
And there'll be big rooms with beds, actual beds, and big windows that open, so I can lay back and look at the countryside as we mosey on down the river from place to place.
And it's not jammed full of people, so there's plenty of space. And then, when I stop, I can choose the way I explore. I can do anything I want to do, not what I have to do. Seriously, this is going to be a thing.
Hello and welcome. I'm Rose Kelly, your host.
And I'm Peter Lynch, Editor-in-Chief of cruisepassenger.com.au and Cruise and Travel Luxury Magazine.
I've got to say, Peter, that was a very interesting start to the show.
No wonder that poor Viking sounded incredulous, but seriously, it is a thing.
It is a thing. Now, this show is devoted exclusively to a form of travel that involves passing through beautiful cities and towns and villages, enjoying the sights, tasting the cuisine, and experiencing the culture of the places that you visit.
We call it the world's most relaxing holiday because you can see as many as 5 countries without catching a flight, jumping on a coach, or packing or unpacking.
I love that. In fact, your boutique hotel of only around 150 guests, it all comes with you.
I'm sure you've guessed. We're talking about river cruising, one of the fastest growing sectors in travel.
And it is officially a thing.
Love your enthusiasm, Rose. Many river cruise companies have come very close to selling out completely in their 2025 bookings. Some cruise lines are around 90% full right now. And the push for what's called shoulder season bookings has been so successful that they've extended the cruise season to almost year round.
I knew shoulders were going to be big
Yes.
again, Peter. I knew it. Now, last year we ran a campaign for a group of leading river cruise lines called the River Cruise Collective, and it was enormously popular.
That could be why they're selling out this season, don't you think, Rose?
I think it's likely to be the case. We reached over 3 million Australians with the message, you see the world differently on a river cruise.
And that's true, Rose, especially in Europe, the most popular river cruising destination. While ocean cruising companies are worried about overcrowding, river cruise lines can take you right to the heart of cities, and because their vessels only take around 150 passengers, they are much easier to accommodate.
So no queuing for tenders to take you ashore. I hate queuing. And you are already ashore as soon as you stop.
Interestingly, one of the world's most successful ocean cruise lines, Royal Caribbean-owned Celebrity, is now announcing that it will be launching 10 river ships.
Just 10 new ones. And
To start.
destinations are also expanding. Armour Waterways has just launched on the Magdalena River in Colombia. Abercrombie and Kent is sailing in Peru. And Portugal has become the new hotspot with new ships from Armour Waterways and APT.
You'll be hearing much more of that. The Mekong, Ganges, Nile, South Africa and Latin America are all seeing more lines offering fresh itineraries with some fascinating side excursions.
And that's the other big trend, Peter. You've mentioned it there. More excursions and extensions that can turn a single cruise into an entire adventure.
And there have been some really interesting changes in guests. The average age of a river cruiser has come down, more activities on ships.
I love it. You can kayak, hike, ride bikes to the next town and meet your ship there, take wellness courses. It is a whole new world.
And of course, you are right there in the centre of things, so you can visit produce markets, cooking schools, art galleries and museums.
And you can wine and dine on shore and jump on the ship afterwards, or experience the local produce and visiting the vintners on the ship itself.
Most of the lines are all inclusive, so you won't have to worry about a thing.
And one last thing, there is a marvellous intimacy about river cruising. Because there are fewer and mainly like-minded guests with you, You get to know people and you form those friendships really very quickly. It's one of my favourite things
I
about it.
really love it too. Yes, that's a great benefit. Traveling with like-minded people is one of the most important aspects of small ship cruising.
Now, today we are going to be speaking with each of the cruise lines involved in the 2025 River Cruise Collective campaign. We have Armour Waterways, Avalon Waterways, Abercrombie and Kent, APT, and Tauk.
Each of these lines has something special to talk about.
And now another River Cruise member with plenty going on this year, one of Australia's most iconic names in travel
Yep.
and in cruising, APT.
Just a week ago, APT launched the first of two truly revolutionary ships on the rivers of Europe. They are not just technological marvels. Their main restaurant actually rises on hydraulics to become a kind of dining space above the water.
Al
But
fresco.
they are also designed right here in Australia.
Wow. So as we speak, the APT Solara is on her first
Yep.
cruise, and Ostara will follow in July, and they're already selling very well with only a few suites left for this year. 90% of those bookings have come from Aussies.
Good on you.
Rather proud.
CEO David Cox is already promising more ships, and the line launched a new ship on the Douro in April.
Wow. So
there's
joining us,
lots going
the
on.
one and only from APT headquarters in Melbourne is David Cox. Hi, David, and congratulations. What a year.
Yes, congratulations to the team. Our reporter on board Solara, Jane Archer, who is actually one of the top river cruise journalists in Europe, has sent her report to us, and she was absolutely bowled over, not just by the design of the ships, but the whole ambience you've created. So really, really congratulations for that.
Yes, all the feedback has been fantastic so far, and I was fortunate enough to be at both christenings for the Estrella and the Solara,
Wow.
and actually had lunch with Jane. So that's our wine and cocktail bar down the back that feeds out to the top deck.
Fantastic.
It's clearly proving to be a favourite with our customers.
And there's more to come. So APT is an absolute Australian brand favourite. We all know that. And it's really been brought up to date with all the changes. Tell us about the APT style of cruising and who it's aimed for.
So I think we would describe it as relaxed luxury.
Yep.
We're certainly trying to raise ourselves above these days. It seems luxury is a word that's used quite flippantly.
Yeah.
Fairly often, yes.
We are really our purpose is to raise ourselves above that. We've done a rebranding exercise that we think displays that we're different to the rest. We've now invested in hardware on the Mekong, on the Portugal Douro River, and now on the Rhine, Main, and Danube.
Wow.
So we have the newest fleet
Yes.
of river ships of anybody, I'm going to say, in the world right now. So we're really endeavouring to raise the level, and that's the hardware. But actually, on these two new APT ships, the choice is something that we know our customers want. So we're the only ships on the Rhine, Main, and Danube that don't fit everybody into the main dining room, and that's deliberate because we know that people don't want to eat in the same dining room 14 nights in a row.
Absolutely right. And the other thing that I think is so fantastic, and you and I have discussed this before, is number one, APT is indeed an iconic Australian brand, and you are very targeted towards encouraging Australians on your ships. And secondly, these ships were designed in Australia, and indeed the menus were created by an Australian company. I think that's really, really something that should fill us with some pride.
Yeah, so we engaged designers locally from Melbourne for the ships themselves, Hecker Guthrie, and that's proved to be a really successful partnership. And we engaged Fellow Hospitality, who have really focused in on the onboard experience, creating different venues with their own vibe and brands. and offering different food offerings around the ship.
Yep.
Now, David, I've got to say, obviously, with such a strong Aussie focus there, I mean, you do have ships on the Mekong, on the Ganges, on the Amazon, and there's now this really exciting new resurgence around our own mighty Murray River. That's exciting in itself, just to talk about that new push back into our homeland and our own rivers. Would you say that's the best river journey to start with if there are newcomers out there new to river cruising?
It's a nice entrance, I think, locally to understand what luxury cruising is about. That's all inclusive, that you can sit back and let it come to you. So, yes, the unpack once,
Mm.
drifting along the river
Yeah.
and out for excursions on the day. So, it is a good entrance. I think the clear most popular first cruise around is definitely Amsterdam to Budapest.
Hmm.
I
And that
agree.
just has some icon cities in there, in Amsterdam, Vienna, and Budapest. But equally, it has the quaint little European villages that everybody loves to go out and walk around off the ship. Um, and in fact, these days, that a lot of people choose to just at different times stay on the ship and relax because for that day, they want to take it easy.
I absolutely agree. I have to say that I've done that route, Amsterdam to Budapest, 3 times, usually in off season, April, May. Gorgeous time if you're lucky with the weather to do it. And there is nothing to beat rounding those river bends and seeing castles up there on the cliff, the amazing forest running along the banks, really tremendous scenery, and then stopping off and popping out for lunch perhaps. One of the great, great, great trips on European rivers. There have been lots of positive changes in river cruising over the last 5 years. I know you'll agree. Better food, more active shore
Mm.
excursions, better chances to experience culture and really get close to communities. What do you think, in your opinion, has been the best change?
I think that what's happened in the last 5 years is our customers are there's a lot more information available. They're far more educated.
Mm.
And because of that, they're far more demanding of what they'd like to do,
Yeah,
and they want choice.
Assertive,
yeah,
assertive, David. Yeah.
yeah.
So choice in the offshore excursions, choice in dining, and choice in the entertainment and activities on board.
Mm.
And that's where we've focused in listening to our customers, and where we think we're delivering in spades. And we know on our surveys, we're coming back with scores of 9.8.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
So
fantastic.
that's
That
incredible.
is amazing. And of course, you've got your first bunch of customers on your ships right now. So that's going to be really exciting. Are you are you excited to hear what they've got to say?
of course we're excited. These two new, the Ostara and Solara ships, been 2 years in the making and
Yeah.
designing and working with our Australian partners on that. So the initial feedback is everybody's loving it.
Excellent. That's
Exciting times right now, but I'm also told that right now is a very good time to book with APT. What's the reason for that?
I'd say there's two things going on at the moment. Is demand for these two new Europe ships has
Mm.
been outstanding. We still do have some cabins available later in the year,
Hmm.
but we are sold out mid-year, and that is at a different price point and a different experience. The Christmas markets are something that
Yeah.
Australians maybe aren't so au fait with, but I have been there, and it really is a fantastic experience, a different experience at that time of the year. And we often have return customers doing the same cruise, but at
yeah.
different times of the year.
Well, for Aussies in
So
particular, we love that fairy tale idea
It's
of
magical.
the Christmas markets in Europe, you know, the
Yeah.
glühwein and the lights and it's
Nothing to beat it. It is a magical,
heaven.
Yes,
magical
and
experience.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the Mekong at the moment
Ooh.
as we head to some cooler weather in winter. Of course, mines start going, where can I go that's warm? And of course,
Yes.
Vietnam, Cambodia is that.
Yeah.
And we
Mm.
have some fantastic fly free deals going at the moment
Oh,
for August, September, October. So that's well worth a look.
Fantastic. And you're
spot
right.
on.
The Mekong is an excellent place to cruise. I have to ask because I think this is such a great story. I know we've alluded to it earlier, but you're being involved in the launch of 2 new paddle steamers on the Murray with the intention of creating a homegrown destination in Australia. And I believe that's also been selling out exceptionally well.
Yes, we've sold out pretty much for
Wow.
25. The ship will launch in 25 in October of 25.
Yep.
Sales for 26 are strong, and the feedback's been so good on it that we're working with our partner to do a second ship that will come online in 27. We're delighted that international tourism gets a lot of the spotlight, but our roots 97 years ago go back to domestic tourism. So we love it when there's a new product domestically that's going off, and we're delighted that we've got exclusive rights to that.
It's
And really
very
pleasing to see the South Australian government coming on board as well. I know that's important because building up that infrastructure and turning the Murray basically in a place people will want to come back to is going to
mm.
be, something a really exciting challenge over the next few years.
We are working in concert with different tourism authorities and government authorities, and the governments have provided some grants, but we kind of say we see on the global stage how much tourism there are around rivers,
Mm.
and delighted that we can come up with a product here that we hope Australia will deliver um, to the standard overseas. And because we've been involved overseas, our design of the ships and what we're trying to deliver on board, we think will be world class.
I think we're
Excellent.
flying the flag
Yes,
for
exactly.
Aussies and in everything that you are doing. So it's really remarkable and it's really great to witness.
Absolutely.
Now, final question for you, David. If not that you need to attract more, because you're doing so well already, but if you had one message that you could send to someone who is perhaps considering river cruising for the first time, what would that message be?
Think cruising is a worldwide phenomena. So there's a reason for that. There's so many customers that love it.
Mm,
Why would you come and choose with us? We certainly feel like we've been delivering great product for 98 years. We think
Wow.
that's at
that's a
our
good reason.
core, and we know if we deliver great product, customers will come back with us again and again. We have a very high repeat passenger rate. So I would just say the ease, the comfort, the unpack once, wake up in the morning, see a new destination, come back to your home away from home. It's
Mm.
just such a relaxed style of holidaying that we think, why not? Let's do it. We've got the products.
It's a
Come
no-brainer.
experience it.
Sounds fabulous.
Beautifully said.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, David. Good luck with the next launch. And we did allude earlier to the fact that you were expecting to be doing more of these in the coming years. So,
Mm.
so many congratulations again. The ships look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so much, David. It's been wonderful chatting with you once again. And thank you for sharing all the exciting news about the new river ships. For anyone at home wanting to know more, go to aptouring.com.au.
Love it.
See you again, David.
Thanks a lot.